Okay, and here we are with a next guest. What is your name and what brings you to JCON?
My name is Dmitry Yanter, and I come to JCON now, I can say regularly, to see people from Java community, to get an ideas what different people are working at, and a little bit to exchange the knowledge and connect with different people from different companies, regions, whatever.
So for you also the hallway track is the most important track here at the conference and meeting people?
Yeah, it's quite important. It's quite important to exchange and a little bit to go beyond what we put on the slides and understand what are the major trends and how we're going to deal with them. Because I think it's really about how we connect technology and people together in order to move it forward.
And if I'm right, your talk is even about that, about connecting people and how they contribute to open source projects?
Yeah, that's right. So it's about collaboration, and I call it collaboration quantified. So my idea is a little bit to move from this collaboration, just like we describe, like good collaboration, bad collaboration, just put a little bit some numbers there and put some structures around that. So I analyzed data sources from different open source projects and built effective collaboration graph. For instance, if we work together on some pull request or Jira item, then we build a small graph between ourselves. And you can imagine for open source projects which have more than thousands of collaborators, they're just like quite an impressive interconnected graph and how it looks like and what we can take out of it, what ideas it brings. Yeah.
Any tips related to that for smaller projects? So I'm involved myself in an open source project like Foojay, which has only a few main contributors. How we can attract more contributors, maybe, or how we can improve collaboration there?
Well, so first of all, I would say no matter whether it's big project or small project, you should come up with this core collaboration network. So even if there are 5 people in your project, you should build connections more or less with everyone. This gives you the core network, which is robust enough, and that becomes extremely important for project to grow. So, for instance, if we're just working together on this project, if I leave or you leave, then it becomes really a dramatic effect for it, and that's why you have to build that network in order to really to survive for in the long term. And it's super important to build connections between everyone, and that's what actually is happening like on JCON, right, where we try to build connection between different people, not just like I'm leading the project and I tell you what to do. I take like only your pull request or whatever. So it really must be the network where everybody is interconnected. And what I see in looking into all these local running projects is like a chart where everyone is really super connected. Like it's almost a perfect graph where everyone is connected to everyone, and that's what makes project and what drives project forward. So not just about I know how to do it and you follow, but really bring ideas and bring people together and make sure that everyone is involved.
So how do you measure this involvement? That means that if someone makes a pull request, that the other partners in the team give feedback, take care of the merge requests. How do you measure how people are connected?
Yeah, that's quite a tricky thing. I started with a very simple thing as Jiras. And again, we have data sources with Jiras. And for instance, if I'm a reporter and you're a developer, then we connect. It's a very simple thing. You can do the same with pull requests. If I create a pull request and you're the approval of the pull request, it's awesome. And I try to do it really artifact evidence based, not just we talk and we measure like how many words we exchange, but some artifacts based like Jiras or pull requests or maybe commits. And that's also then I apply some gravity logic here. So for instance, if we have together 10,000 of Jiras and some other person just like contribute one, then we are closely connected. It's like works as gravity, right? So the more interactions we have together, the closer we are, and that brings you like really like a solar system with the core network in the center, and people coming coming. Sometimes they come closer to the core because they contribute more, or they just like in some like far orbits. That's quite impressive.
Do you have a chart like that for OpenJDK, OpenJFX, those projects which are discussed here a lot?
No, I don't. I haven't. I have some for some other. For instance, for MongoDB or for Spring or for Apache, and that's really quite interesting.
Spring is also a big one here, I guess. But yeah, OpenJDK should be could be quite a challenge. I think. I think there are a lot of contributors there.
But that's great. That's actually how we can try to see how the things work, and that's sometimes that brings really a insightful understanding how your community works, like who are the people in the core, and how you can bring people more, because that's also kind of like a part of your role as a core contributor, to bring more people and to attract more people to closer and build more connection. That's also becomes quite important for people in the core network to engage with others, and maybe sometimes you just have to introduce some new contributors to other people, and that's how you build connections and bring people together and make exchange of ideas and really these artifacts and pull requests, and they top up into quite impressive interactions.
Yeah. Isn't it amazing that you say OpenJDK Spring, they have hundreds, thousands of contributors, but that a lot of core libraries that we use are just 1-2 people maintaining a project?
That was one of the insights that I try to a little bit to summarize. So if you look into super big projects, then the core network where everyone is over connected, I would say, just really literally have a lot of connections. You might have, for instance, 1 or 2% of the overall contributors networks, they are in the core. If you just look into some other projects which are not super big, which are maybe at scale of some hundreds of contributors, then it may be 5-6%. But nevertheless, it's really a very small number of people who work together to bring things forward. On the one hand side, on the other hand side, you have to look for others' contributions as well. And if you sum up contribution for, sometimes they close and not just they fix just a couple of bugs, but nevertheless, if you sum up the effort, it's really great. It's really enormous. So I did also some previous years some analysis around that, and I think if you compare like core contributors versus everyone which like non-core contributors, then it maybe can be like 50-50. So people who just sometimes close just a few bugs or contribute to a few features, overall effect is enormous.
Yeah, because for some people to decide if they gonna use a library or not, they check at the maturity of a library, how old is it, how well maintained is it, when was the last commit, but also the number of active committers is probably one of the topics which decides if a library gets used or not. So that's probably also one of the reasons why building up that network is so important.
Yeah, I would agree. And it's also when you think about it, these long-running libraries, they became more than just the like 1 or 2 people who created it. So they became really this collaborative effort, and it's like really a brain power put together with with the synergies and ideas exchange, and that's probably why people use them, and that's why sometimes it's easier to use an existing thing rather than reinvent your own, just because of your mental capacity is limited. And if you compare what you can do within a year or two versus really hundreds of many years of thought put into some libraries, and that's quite impressive.
Thanks for your time. Thanks for your talk here, and thanks for being at JCON.
Yep. Thank you very much.